Hey, so back and somewhat refreshed. And introducing myself. I'm a guide of light to help you through the night. I am a highly intuitive, divinely guided individual that gets messages that I share with you. They might trigger you, they might want you to come and poke my eyes out, they might stand you up, build you up. I don't know how you take it. If you're being triggered, go sit down, think about yourself, heal yourself, work on yourself. If it's guiding you, hi, I love you too. And we're going to make it. We're going to do this. So, if everyone's ready, we put on our big people britches and go, okay, I'm ready for some truth because that's what I bring. Truth. Sometimes it's a dark, nasty truth, And I woke up this morning and so many things because some of y'all that have been with me know that I work with kids and I'm about to have a lot of them for this summer. All different attitudes. And I thought badass baby boot camp. And then I thought no, because they react in the way that we present our energy. And this is all human beings. This is not just children. You teach them to lead, they'll lead. You teach them to bully, they'll bully. You teach them to be respectful, they'll be respectful. You teach them to be loving, they'll be loving. And we all affect one another, whether you believe it or not. And I think I've explained this before. We are atomical beings. You can only see us because this light is here. Just like if I turn this off, it changes the image of who I am. Turn it back on, you can see me. So when it comes down to, and that's in there, when it comes down to it, you have to see yourself on a particle level. So as you're walking through this planet, you are absorbing particles of past people you don't know, people you won't even ever come in contact with. So we all affect each other in the way that we treat, push, help, nurture, hinder, however we're doing it, because it can be good or it can be bad, And earlier I was thinking about when I was young, I was in love with love. I ain't gonna lie, I was promiscuous. I was looking for love in all the wrong places. And I came to realize it's not about having someone to love. It's about loving openly, unconditionally to the world, because it's how we present ourselves. So every time that I was in a good relationship with somebody, it would get messed up with the concept of love. Like I've had opportunities pass me by because I thought, would I want to date that person? Never realizing you don't have to date them to have a partnership with them, right? And it's funny because I've even talked about platonic relationships, non-passionate relationships. But in my mind, it didn't set off. And that's because I've been in love with love, right? So now I understand that, okay, the goal here is to let my light shine and everybody feel the love. So as we keep going through life and we keep trying to get in these relationships thinking there's another side to who we are, sorry, I got to turn this down because I'm assuming you can probably hear it on there and I don't want to be flagged on this video, but I want to listen to my music. So anyways, when it comes down to it, the way that you are dealing with people, you can either say, oh, I want that person and chase them, or understand that you came into their life for a reason, which was to maybe learn or grow something yourself or help them learn and grow something themselves. And when it comes down to the concept of love, we've all been brainwashed to believe we need relationships. We need partnerships. We need that one-on-one. Something, you need to find that person that's going to fulfill your soul. And you don't even realize that you fulfill your soul. And the person that you're looking for, that divine counterpart, will not come to you until you have fulfilled your soul. Till you have become complete in your own right. And this past Mercury retrograde, lunar eclipse, pretty sure it was a lunar eclipse, and the full moon last night, for 2 days, I didn't go to bed till almost 2 o'clock last night and was up by 7. So it has done a number on my soul. And I don't mean in a way that it beat me up. It stood me up. It helped me to realize a lot of things that I've been hanging on to, a lot of things that I've been suppressing, a lot of things that I owe it to myself to allow myself to heal. And that's the hard part, is the trying to heal. And I know if you're new on the journey of your life, because we are all born, we all live. We wake up, we do jobs, we do these things, but it doesn't mean that you're awakened to your journey. And your journey is to heal, to grow, to show up, to smile at the world, to help this world heal. Because if you notice, the forests aren't popping up, but the cities are. And at what point do we realize that money may not grow on trees, but no, it's made from trees? And it's gotten to a point where they're even getting rid of the concept of paper money, and everything's electronic or plastic. And everything comes down to there really is no value in what we do. There's a cost, but there's not a value. So when you start looking at, weighing it out, the worth of it, you have to start realizing that you can keep pushing on in this world of competition, hate, war, and greed. Or start waking up and saying something, calling out the bully, applauding the leaders, appreciating the love that's given instead of going, what can I get from that? How can I profit off of that? Well, I see a light in that. Now I want to own it and take it and say I was a part of it. Because that's what people that are manipulative will do to you. They will see the strength and courage in you. They will see the blessings that come into your life. And if you don't see your blessings, open up your heart and start realizing that when you almost couldn't make that bill, someone paid that bill. When you were running late, someone let you step in front of them. When you were having a bad day, someone smiled at you. Somebody changed the way that you viewed the world for the positive. And it's on all of us to start changing the way that we see the world so we can help the world view it in a different light. And when I'm talking about the world, I'm talking about the children. Because they're the ones that have to endure the chaos we've created. And we can either keep feeding each other's destruction and chaos, or we can start feeding each other's creativity, strengths, capabilities. We can start building each other up instead of fucking knocking each other down. Because I was sitting here working out earlier and I just and I started hitting it really hard, and then the uppercuts and the sides, and it was so fulfilling. And I thought, you know what, when you want to hit somebody, go look in the mirror and just box yourself. Because no need to hurt anybody else, because you're hurting. We all fucking hurt. We all get it. We all have hard, bad days. Some people are doing worse than others because they have spread so much hate and anger. They have created so many barriers for themselves, their family, the future. Everything, their existence hasn't been fought for. They don't know the value of themselves. And when somebody has no worth for themselves, they are going to go around and sit there and just like, oh, you have a dream? Let me set fire to that. And I used to be one of the biggest fire starters. And this is theoretically, this is not realistically. But when my heart would start to open up to somebody, I'd be like, we ain't playing that game. I am not going to fall for anybody's games. I am not going to be duped. And it's funny because I always sit here and talk about love, and you can trust it, and it's got this warm feeling, but I was always insecure about it. Honestly, I didn't feel I deserved it. I didn't feel that it was something that I was comfortable with, and I didn't even understand what it was. I come from a long line of alcoholics, drug addicts, people that don't know their worth and value, people that gave up before I even existed. So I had no guides and I had no leaders. My teachers couldn't even teach in accordance with the way they felt could help us to grow and stand tall, because at that time they were taking away like prayer at the pole and things. They were separating everything and taking away anything that would build the child up and help them to be faithful and nurturing and caring, be the leader. That was starting to be taken away because certain parents didn't want their children subjected to that. And instead of taking them out of the school district and doing it themselves, they started yapping their mouth. They started saying what they felt was right and wrong about the program. They didn't come and do anything to add to it. No, they just started destructuring it, taking it away, taking the value away from the children. And I'm not advocating for religion by all means. But to say that somebody's not allowed to have faith in prayer, that's asinine. That is one of the dumbest things you can possibly do, and that was done to us in the 90s. So when you come down to, you go around and tell somebody, oh, you're bad because you're acting like that. They're not going to learn anything because you're placing a label on them. The more we place labels on each other, the more we tear each other down and tell each other who we have to be. This is especially true when it comes to children. If you have children that can't speak, so they bite to tell someone else, I don't like that, or you made me angry, you can't start calling them names like shark, piranha, Hannibal Lecter. I mean, I worked in that environment. I left that environment because it was so toxic. It was rubbing off on me. I worked with so many people that were negative that my positivity just and I just was miserable. I didn't want to be there. The kids became chaotic. Life became difficult and I was exhausted. And I had to change my situation. And now I work with people that try to find solutions to problems. Because I've always told my children, okay, you've come with me the problem. You have come to me with a problem several times. I've given you possible solutions. You don't want to hear them. Don't come back to me with the problem. Find a solution. Because you can either find a solution or you can find a problem. You can look and you're going to get exactly what you're looking for. And that's why when I heard in my head, Badass Baby Boot Camp, and I was like, don't go that route. Yes, something to turn them into badasses that make them feel like leaders rather than bullies. Because I have a whole summer that I have to mold the minds of young ones. I can either spend the whole summer fighting with them, punishing them, taking away rewards, trying to put them in timeout, chasing them around, making incident reports, or I can build them up because I look around and nobody else is doing it. And I came up with a lot of ideas that I know they will be excited about. And it's something that will adjust their behavior every step they take in a day. And we can all do that for ourselves. Start thinking of something that you want that will reward you. Whether it be a new car, a vacation, just some quiet time, a glass of wine, whatever it is. Find something that you're willing to work for. Because when you can find something you're willing to work for, then you can start to take the steps to better yourself. Because the hard part is making the choice. And if you need a reward for that, so be it. If you have the discipline and determination to do it because your heart tells you to, awesome. Kudos to you. Because we don't always get a reward. We can't always afford a reward. But when it comes down to it, and you look at how the universe will bless you and guide you, that is the reward. And it takes a lot of strength, discipline, courage. Being able to master your own mind, heart, controlling yourself. Because I had to tell one little boy yesterday, I get angry, I want to go around and punch and kick people too. But I can't. I choose not to because I know it's only going to hurt them. And it's not going to help me. Because the more that we lash out at people, the more that we choose to do certain things, we almost like stab ourselves. I've spent so many years trying to get daggers and you can't even get to it, but to get the daggers out of my own back that I placed there, thinking it was somebody else's hand. But it was me, what I allowed, what I chose, what I accepted as being the truth. And all of that had to do with allowing somebody to degrade, belittle, and hurt me. Put me in a box. Dim my light. Take away my blessings. Take away the power of who I am. And they didn't take it, I gave it. Because I was a people pleaser. I didn't want to see people unhappy. Never realizing they were coming to me with misery and pain. And that's how they were going to approach me. I never realized until the last probably year that who I surround myself with is going to affect the outcome of who I am. And at that point, I started becoming very guarded. My circle is very small. Like, I don't have one. And I'm learning I need to start opening back up to attract that soul tribe. Because I love family. I love sharing happy moments and laughter and jokes. And we're missing out on life if we're sitting back and just watching everything pass us by. We're missing out if we're not enjoying the happy moments and laughing, encouraging one another. Because the less we encourage each other, the more we separate ourselves from each other. And that's not a world that we need to be in. There are so many people on this planet. It's amazing that it's being destroyed the way it is. But that's because we're feeding destruction instead of creation. But understandably, everything has to be destroyed to create in a new foundation. Something that is solid. Something that has the ability to move forward. Because if something works well, why fix it? But when you can look around and clearly see that it's not functioning correctly, we have so many disorders. Anxiety, depression, suicides on the rise, ADHD, ADD, I don't know, pick it. Something new will arise that they'll give a name to. Because people used to just cope with these feelings. And it wasn't so mass and abundant that it needed a label. We've gotten now where the toxicity has spread so much and just encroached on everything that it is affecting the minds and hearts of pretty much every person on this planet. Because if you go back to the very beginning of what I was saying, we are atoms, particles. So understand, the wind carries this around the world. Just around and around and around. And then even if that's not felt or seen, the world's still moving. You're going to always go through it. So this season that has just really amped up the energies on this planet is here for a reason. And it's here to say, wake up. It's time to do what's necessary. And what's necessary is not always fun or easy. But I don't know who said it, but they said it the best. Often the hardest path is the correct way to go. And I'm sure I just ad-libbed that in there because I didn't even say it correctly, how I've always heard it. But anyways, you understand what I'm saying. If it's easy, don't necessarily mean it's right. If it's difficult, it's probably worth the fight. So understand you have a choice to make. What particles are you going to put out for others to absorb? I'm just going to leave you on that question. Send you peace, love, and light. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.